the Salvage Redistribution Project that we did over the summer and that's been happening recently. But for me, I'm kind of similar to Lulu in the sense that when I kind of think of the environment, I kind of don't know where to start with it, and I kind of just think I have to be observant of what's around me and trying to respond to that, because I think there's that kind of notion that I know there's experts and that we're just students, what do we know? And so I kind of want to be building myself up to kind of understand what's going on, because I kind of feel that it's very easy to kind of look at other people or look at governments or different countries and say, oh yeah, that country's bad and they're doing this wrong and that wrong, but it's kind of difficult to actually know what they should be doing, because I mean the reason there's a problem there is usually because it's so complex. And I think it's sometimes maybe a bit too simplistic to just say that something's wrong, and only through the kind of experience of trying to do it yourself that you actually see like how it actually all comes together and how the different problems that are actually there. Because unless you know the problems, it's very difficult to come up with solutions that are actually sustainable. Because sometimes solutions might sound right in theory, but actually when you put them into action, they just don't really work as good as they do sound. So this salvage problem, this salvage project is basically something that just emerged over the summer, just at the end of last term, and basically we were kind of walking along and we just saw that a lot of skips started popping up around the campus. And there were ones probably like all over the accommodation areas, and they're just full of these black bags, and they're just overfilling. And we kind of started to question like, what is actually going on here? Why is there so much rubbish and it's not actually being anything being done to it? And I guess for me, I've got a background in that since I've come to England from Zimbabwe, I've been skipping and getting all my food from supermarkets that have been left by the supermarkets that they're out of date or something like that, but still being perfectly fine. So for me, I kind of thought that these things are probably still perfectly fine, and so I kind of along with my brother and Maria and a few other people, we started looking inside the bins and seeing that there was actually a lot of perfectly good things that were just being thrown out, and the university was paying people the workers to come collect these bags. I mean, it still happens every day. Like, I mean, there's a difference between the stuff which is just general waste, but a lot of this stuff wasn't general waste. It was just the things that students couldn't take home because it's an international campus. Students come here and they can't really afford to take it back, bring all their stuff here and then bring it all back. So what they do, they just buy up everything from Tesco's very cheaply, and then this is us where it all started, where we kind of just started collecting things. We didn't know where to put the stuff that we collected, and so it's really going fast on this slide. So there's so many pictures from it. I just need to slow down. This is basically a compactor. So all the stuff that was being taken would be taken to a compactor, and so we then just started collecting the stuff as we saw it, as it came out, and then we started trying to sort it all out. I'm just going to leave this slideshow and just ignore that it's not happening. And we're finding all sorts of things. We're finding kettles, printers, your general kind of kitchenware, clothes, loads of clothes, bedding, and some of it was really nice. And while we were doing the project, we started talking to the cleaners, and we were saying, this is how it always is. And they were saying, we, a lot of students. Okay, I need to stop. Going too fast. How do you stop these things? Forward, there you go. Okay, so where am I going? So with this, we were talking to the cleaners, and they were saying, every year this is what happens, and often there's some really good things. They said they found like Armani suits. Some students just leave their whole room as it is with the printers, the laptop, and in rare cases, but generally everyone does it. It's not just the rich students. It's also the poorer students that just can't take it home. It was just kind of like responding to things as they went along. So at first we were just collecting it, and we were just putting it kind of in the lawn here by the court near the gym, and there was just this huge pile of stuff. The university weren't too happy with us because you know, they like it to be tidy, and there were conferences and things like this. But we kind of felt that we had to kind of continue, because as we started uncovering things, it just became more and more important to us that we just couldn't let this stuff go. We kind of had to save it or something like that. And so, yeah, we were doing that. And then we got in touch with somebody from the university and said that we need a storage space, because, you know, we're finding all this stuff and it needs to go somewhere. With the university, they do tend to like just push you around. Yeah, go to this person, go to that person, go to that. In the end, we went through the accommodation, and they then finally gave us a small room. But within the first day, we had basically filled up the room. This was a very small room that we had. So you can see it was completely kind of packed. So basically after that, then we had to kind of think about trying to get more space. And one of my friends, Luke, he said that we could, this is still part of the room, he said we could maybe, over the summer, seeing as his flatmates weren't there, we could, let me just say this. Stop. Okay, so this is kind of what we were doing. We're going a bit, you know, we had to kind of break some rules, because, you know, that was just how it was. As we were collecting the things throughout the day, then we didn't really have anywhere to put it. So sometimes we even just went to LTV, stuck it under the stairs, covered it with some of the curtains that we found, because we didn't have anywhere to put it. So we got in trouble a little bit with the security for that, because you know, we said to them that we just have it there for the night, and then sometimes we need to put it there again, and all this kind of stuff. But they were kind of quite helpful. The security kind of were on our side most of the time, because they understood that, you know, we're just trying to do something good here, but we're kind of having difficulties with, you know, knowing how to do that. So this is like some of the places that it got stored in, and the various places that we could sneak it. Now, yeah. So then we took it to Luke's house, and this is what it would kind of look like. This is his front garden, yeah, there was quite a lot of it, and we basically had to spend loads of time collecting, but then we had to come back and then try and sort all this stuff and put it into some kind of, you know, they would all fit into like the garage and things. So we kind of had to, after we had filled the garage, we had to go into the house as well, because there was so much. So unfortunately, this house was completely full of stuff as well. So in each room there was quite a lot of things, a lot of stuff in the kitchens and things like that. As the project kind of evolved, we kind of had more people that were kind of being absorbed into our little group, and we had more people that came and just helped out now and again with the sorting, like, which is, I think, a really important part of a project like this, is that, this is back garden, by the way, or part of it. Yeah, it's important to kind of make sure you're getting other people, and not just environmental people, but just, you know, or your friends who might just have no interest in the environment. You know, as a little favour they can do it, but once they kind of come in and see that there's, like, what's going on, they often become very enthusiastic. And some people that we had come along, they weren't, well, I think Luke, you weren't really very interested in the environment, but then, you know, as this project came, you can kind of see why it was important in the way to do it. But yeah, it became quite overwhelming at times, and we all kind of were feeling very stressed with it, just because of the sheer amount of it, and because we had kind of bit off more than we could chew, and there was just, it just felt like the house would never be tidy, and we'd never know what to do with all this stuff, which is an ongoing thing since the summer. We basically did it the whole summer, and now we're still kind of just getting rid of the last of it, because there was so much. So yeah, there's quite a, so this is in the kitchen now. We've moved everything out of the kitchen and just filled it up with the stuff that we found, and loads of food and things like that, which we just thought we would kind of eat as you know, throughout the year, because we couldn't really donate it to a charity, because it had been opened and things like this. So yeah, and we weren't really sure how good the stuff was, but for ourselves we thought it would be okay. Fair enough. We have kettle. So if anyone wants a free toaster or kettle after this talk, you might be able to have one. So yeah, and these are all the rice cookers. The kettle's under somebody's bed. Okay, and then this is another point now. Let me stop this here. So throughout the project, we kind of had limited resources. We basically had to use what we had, and that was a bike and a bike trailer for transport. I also had my camper van, so that was quite useful for the collection part of the project. Unfortunately, after we collected everything, my camper van broke down, so getting all the stuff back to campus was pretty horrific, because we then just had the bike and bike trailer. So that was lots of trips going back and forth, which was quite a mission. So this is Joe, my brother, just doing the trip. Yeah, and then the first week of term we had the stall. Well, it was meant to be the first week of term, but it ended up being the first month of term that we had a stall every day, trying to kind of sell the stuff back to the students so that it could be revalued, because a lot of it was perfectly good, and you know, with the fees going up now, a lot of students maybe might be struggling to kind of buy things, and these things are still in perfectly good condition, and after we had kind of washed it and everything like that, it was really good stuff. And so this is something we did as well. We had people washing up on the store, because I kind of felt that it was important not to do everything behind the scenes, so that like people as they're walking by could actually see people like see the stuff dirty, and then being kind of seeing that transformation, because sometimes with these things, you know, it's just taken behind the scenes and everything's sorted out, and then it's all fine. But I wanted to kind of show that like actually there is a problem here, and like we're prepared to like kind of get down to the nitty-gritty or something like that. So that was kind of an idea of like an exhibition or something like that. And this is as we were doing the stall, we were meeting lots of different people. Yeah, just getting, this was some artist who was doing some little installation nearby that he was doing. Yeah, but after all that, we managed to raise about £4,000. Just basically we're doing it on donation basis, so we wanted it not to have a fixed price, because we kind of felt that we didn't want to make it that people who were maybe poorer and couldn't afford things wouldn't be able to afford some things, and people who had more money and were able then could have, you know, could spend what they wanted. And also it was interesting of the idea of value, like what would somebody value something like this, because often when we go to the supermarket, everything's set out. This is this price, this is that price, so we don't really think about how much we're spending on certain things like that. So that was just like a kind of interesting side that we wanted to kind of see. This was during the night, so often we do the stall the whole day, and then at night we would have to think about what to do with all this stuff. Lulu here luckily said we could use her room, which is, let me just go back, that's Lulu's office, but she's a postgraduate, so we every night after the stall we have to put these trolleys into her room and just have them kind of sitting there for the night, and then in the morning we quickly secretly get them out before her other work people came there, before Lulu came into the office. But it was a very kind of secretive mission, because by this point, when we had the stalls, we no longer had this storage space. The university had basically kicked us out of the storage space that they had given us. So the only thing that we could do then is like, the things that we didn't sell, we then had to just put them aside for the next day. And this is this my room? Or no, oh yeah. So yeah, another thing we did is we went around some of the towers and tried to take things to people that they might want to buy. And then that was interesting as well, because we actually got a few volunteers through doing that, because they kind of saw it. We had to also, by the end of it, because we were just getting so tired and stressed by it all, we had to then get some of it just sold per kg for some of the clothes and things like that. And then during the right at the end, we kind of just put everything for free and just left it by the stairs for, I don't know if anyone ever saw that, but that was us. We left that for you guys, a little treat. But yeah, we still actually have some more stuff from the project that we haven't got rid of, which we need to sort out this evening actually, from Luke's place, try to move that out. And then we've also got some things stored in Hugh's place in another friend. I still got my bedroom, which has some stuff stored in as well. And